সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, বিরতির পর আপনাদের সবাইকে আবারও আমন্ত্রণ কমিউনিটি ম্যাটার্সে। আজকে আমরা কথা বলছি অ্যাচিভমেন্ট অফ ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি, এবং এই ব্যাপারে কথা বলার জন্য আমার সাথে উপস্থিত আছেন আমার হাতের ডান পাশে ব্যারিস্টার জাকারিয়া মায়া, আমার হাতের বাম পাশে উপস্থিত আছেন জনাব খালেদ সত্তার এবং জান্নাত তানিয়া। থ্যাংক ইউ all three of you for joining us today, and we are talking on a very important topic, achievement of British Bangladeshi. Amra first segment highlight korchilam je what are the challenges that early comers face in terms of socio-economic aspect from all three different prospects. So in this segment we'll try to explore further. Amader ekta phone call ache, amra we'll take a phone call and then straight will come to you. Assalamu alaikum caller, apnar porichoy diye doya kore apnar prashnoti korun. Caller, assalamu alaikum. Caller, assalamu alaikum. Apnar caller gone. Okay. Thank you. So, Barrister Zakaria, you are focusing on certain socio-economic problems that the early comers faced. We know that there's a vast chunk of Bangladeshis, they are living in London particularly, and also in other cities like Manchester, Birmingham and other cities as well. So what are the socio-economic challenges you think the early comers faced and still exist?
Well, when you have the first generation arriving in United Kingdom, because of the lack of English and lack of job availability and poor education, they were only able to obtain jobs generally within restaurants and factories. However, since 1991 to 2011, we looked at the census. In 1991, only about a 5% population achieved degrees.
Right.
Whereas 2011, we've achieved about 20% worth of degrees.
Increase.
So therefore, there is a positive factor. We've increased in attaining degrees. Now, the population at the moment in 2018 is 451,000 Bengalis living in United Kingdom. But surprisingly, 221,000 actually live in London. So half the population of Bengalis live in London.
Half for Bangladeshi community.
But one of the significant factors that affects Bengalis going forward is that about 70% of the population come from low-income families.
Right.
So therefore, they're, on the poverty side, significantly members of families suffering. That's 70%. So there are three areas that the Bengali generation are facing: education, social mobility, and poverty. And those three things are affecting young generations going forward in developing their careers, whether it's in business or management. But another positive is that the young girls in the Bangladeshi community are doing better than the boys. So we have a 55% success
better than
rate.
The boys in terms of going to universities.
General education results.
Right.
55% compared to 41% of young boys, Bengali boys.
Right.
But still, even though the young poverty
When you say
stricken.
education, you mean higher education?
Yes, higher education.
Right.
And so what we notice is that when you go to university, even though there are a lot of Bengalis from poor families getting the chance to go to university and getting a degree, which we've seen an increase, they're still unable to transform that attainment of getting into university, getting a degree, and then getting a job.
Right.
And
so those numbers are not translating into job.
Correct. So therefore, there's still a ceiling for which young Bengalis are not able to achieve, for example, business, managerial, and professional positions.
Right.
So they're left in what we call semi-skilled work. But the young generation don't want to work in restaurants.
Right.
They don't want to work in warehouses. They want to achieve. And therefore, the achievement is improving, but there's more to do to get those achievements up for the future.
Definitely. Thank you very much for all this figure. You mentioned about that 55% girls, they're going to higher education, 45% boys, but still those numbers, there's a significant increase. However, much more can be done. Those number can go up. What can be done to increase those numbers, particularly girls and boys, they're going for higher education?
Well, there's been various reports, either from Ofsted or the BAME reports about the potential of ethnic minorities, Bengali populations, schooling. One of the key areas is English language, improving the English language
Right.
will give them better possibility of getting better degrees. The second point is this, that
We do have a phone call. We'll
Yes,
take that phone call and we'll
certainly,
come back to you. Sorry to interrupt you. Assalamu alaikum caller, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন। Caller, assalamu alaikum, আপনার পরিচয় দিয়ে দয়া করে আপনার প্রশ্নটি করুন।
Walaikum assalam. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you very well. Assalamu alaikum, ভালো আছেন?
ওয়ালাইকুম আসসালাম, হ্যাঁ ভালোই আছি। আমি দুই একটা কমেন্ট করতে চাই।
Sure, please.
আপনার যে বাঁ পার্শ্বে যে ভদ্রলোক বসে আছেন উনি বললেন যে উনি এসে অনেক I don't know when he came, probably mention করছেন যে
জি জি 2000 early
came here.
জি 2001
Sorry?
2001
2001.
জি
2001 এ যদি এসে আপনি লোনলি ফিল করেছেন,
জি
ইমাজিন যে 2001 1960 তে এসেছে,
Right.
সে কি ফিল করেছে।
জি জি
I came here to this country in 1960. এখন আপনি যদি শর্ডিচ ওল্ডগেট এরিয়াতে হাঁটেন,
জি
you will probably see very few native English.
জি
এখন তো সব আমাদের দেশি লোকই বেশি।
জি
জাস্ট ইমাজিন করেন যে আমরা কিভাবে কত লোনলি ফিল করেছি।
না ডেফিনেটলি আপনার উনি যেটা হাইলাইট করছিল, আপনি আই সিনসিয়ারলি অ্যাপ্রিশিয়েট যে আপনারা যে ধরনের স্ট্রাগল ফেস করেছেন। ভদ্র আমার উনি যা বলছিল, জনাব খালেদ সাত্তার, উনি বলছিল যে ফার্স্ট জেনারেশন ইমিগ্রেন্টরা যখন আসে তখন যে ওনাদের ইমিডিয়েট ফ্যামিলিকে মিস করে, উনি ওই ব্যাপারটাতে হাইলাইট করছিল আর কি। সো আপনাদের এক্সপিরিয়েন্সটা কিন্তু মোর অর লেস সেম, বাট অ্যাবসলিউটলি আপনাদের স্ট্রাগলটা অনেক বেশি ছিল, আপনারা অনেক বেশি ডিসক্রিমিনেশন ফেস করেছেন। আই এম শিওর অ্যাবাউট দ্যাট। Thank you very much. So he was highlighting that you are missing your family. You've been going through lots of challenges when you came here early 2001. How about people, those who came early 60s and 70s?
I think that's a very correct point. I think a lot of people who came to the United Kingdom would seek support from their families who were already here.
Right.
So if your friend or cousin or uncle worked in a restaurant, you'd get a job in a restaurant.
Straight away.
If you worked in a factory, you got a job in a factory. That was the only support and assistance they got. But food was limited, friends were limited, and as you know, no internet.
Right.
And the limited communications with people back
Absolutely.
home. And one of the fundamental problems was that a lot of people who came to the United Kingdom were still supporting their families back in
home.
Bangladesh.
Yep.
So that was another difficulty for them to survive here with their own income.
Thank you very much. Zanatani, if I may ask you, Bash Zakaria, he has highlighted that nowadays more girls, they are going for higher education, but still those numbers are not very encouraging. What else can be done to encourage more girls to participate in higher education, going for further studies at different colleges or going to university? What else can be done?
I think first it starts off at home, I think.
Right.
I was lucky, I guess. I'm sort of the child and grandchild of the generation that Zach referred to. So it was almost easier for me to step into the world because I already had opportunities out there that I could go and explore.
Right.
So it's encouraging, the numbers are growing. There are a lot more girls, Bangladeshi girls, going out there to get degrees. You'd find it very hard to walk into a house now where a Bangladeshi girl isn't going to university or doesn't have the ambition to go to university. I think what we can do to encourage them more is start from home. Parents need to be a bit more encouraging. We need to have a lot more role models out there who look like them, speak like them. They see people doing well, whether it's our MPs, whether it's Bangladeshi people on TV. And then you've got, again, coming back to Bangla, and what we do is we have all these initiatives that we put into place, we make available, we have these mentoring schemes, we have all these initiatives that we put together to try and bring people in, to show them that there are opportunities out there. Come to us and we'll kind of help you along.
Right. You mentioned about that the changes should start from home.
Yes.
But do you think that conventional conservative family structure that we normally have in British Bangladeshi community, that particular thing is stopping girls to go to universities, or that is actually stopping girls to go for mainstream jobs?
I think that issue is less so than what it was before. And I think it's supported by the figures that Zach shared. There are a lot more girls going to university, therefore it means they are being encouraged. When I say it starts from home, I do mean in terms of culture, yes, maybe 20 odd years ago it was more the norm for them to stay at home or settle down first rather than get a job. Those conventions have changed, those ideas have changed, views have changed, parents are a lot more encouraging now. And I
How
think
about
we're
in-laws? Do you think
changing.
they get enough support from in-laws once they get married?
I think it's when I say it starts from home, it starts with the parents first. By the time you're married, you're with your in-laws, hopefully you're already at the stage where you've done something already, and if not, then yes, that's another sort of role that maybe your in-laws need to play as well. It's all support. That's what it comes down to. You need support at grassroots.
I think that's right. I think parents need to support their children to get through the education system, either supporting them at home or with their education, or seeking support and assistance to give them the better future, because the world has changed significantly. And also I think one of the key concerns we have is that within the employment sector, within the business sector, that people recognize the difficulties that Bangladeshis have faced in their education. 70% are within the poverty line. So it's going out there giving these young people a chance to get jobs, because it is well shown that the Bangladeshis have improved significantly, and they are hardworking, and they will achieve. So mentoring on its own is not enough. We need support of industry and business, and hopefully the UK infrastructure will encourage more Bangladeshis into their various businesses.
Absolutely. I think if government is serious about social mobility, I'm sure they would recognize that Bangladeshi community is one of the most vulnerable ethnic communities when it comes to poverty. So more needs to be done, particularly for social mobility, don't you think?
I absolutely agree. I think the most important areas are clerical, professional and management roles, and social mobility. We presented an education program to young lawyers who wish to be lawyers. They are concerned about fees, concerned about whether they'll get jobs at the end of these loans and debts they will incur. And it's important that there are jobs available, and that they don't make support to assist and provide grants and support to industry and to professionals to encourage bringing in these young people from different societies, because that's a whole part of integration to the system. So integration is part of mobilizing social systems to help and encourage people into various departments so people feel as though they've got a future in this country.
Right, thank you so very much. জনাব খালেদ সাহেব, আপনি বলছিলেন যে কালচারাল ব্যারিয়ার একটা বড় ইস্যু যারা পার্টিকুলারলি ফার্স্ট টাইম আসে, হোয়াট ক্যান বি ডান ফর দিস পার্টিকুলার থিং? আপনার কালচারাল ব্যারিয়ার এটা কিভাবে মিটিগেট করা যায়?
আসলে সবচেয়ে বড় সমস্যা যেটা মানে বিদেশে আসার পর, স্পেশালি ইউকে ইংলিশ স্পিকিং কান্ট্রি, ইংলিশ no matter what your education level is, English is a major barrier. Right. And
এটা কিভাবে মিটিগেট করা যায়?
সেটা মিটিগেট করতে হলে I think it's like clear communication. You need to identify যে কি ধরনের communication you need. Go learn English. I think further English. I think that's the one step. And communicate with people in English rather than like if you stay at home or something. যে Bangladeshi people, communicate with them in English. So that is
আমরা আরো কথা বলবো, এরপর আমরা যাব একটা বিরতির পর আমরা কিভাবে এটা মিটিগেট করা যায় ব্যাপারে কথা হলো। সুপ্রিয় দর্শক, আজকে কমিউনিটি ম্যাটারসে আমরা কথা বলছি অ্যাচিভমেন্ট অফ ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি। আমরা যাব একটা বিরতির পর আরো কথা হবে, আমাদের সাথেই থাকবেন।